What's up, guys? DiplexHeated again. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I am back with some more gameplay. Today we're taking a look at Call to Arms, the Revolver mod. It's called Le Revolver, you know, but I tried Frenchifying that a bit. Yes, Tommy Lascelles. I've been watching The Crown recently, and I think, honestly, that's why my weekend has been a little empty of videos. Honestly, I needed some time to reflect on a few things, gather myself. I had some severe thrashing this Friday, and, you know, recuperate and recover. I had this, thing where I was constantly going British all the time previously, but then I transcended into, some transatlantic, non-nation-specific accent and back and forth. I never really had the Swedish thing going, except maybe for a few early months in 2011, when I started this channel. So, transcending world and space, we're gonna start this battle. We're in Iran, 2020. This is a fictional, non-realistic civil war. Hopefully, it could mean two ways. Saying hopefully it doesn't happen is good for the sake of life. People don't die fighting a war, and war is, in general, bad, even though it is what my entire channel is pretty much based around. So in reality, for me to be able to do what I'm doing, I need war, and it's interesting. But also, perhaps in response to its regime, perhaps a civil war would freshen things up. God, that sounds horrible. I know how absolutely terrible I sound, so don't quote me on anything like that. I will lose out on all my future projects and endeavors ever possible. Swedish YouTuber promotes Iranian civil war. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, and I don't think I've started it to begin with. So we can start it now, and not think about what I just said. Although, let's do think about what I said, but let's not think about it that way. Let's think about it in a way where, hey, something good ought to come out of the bad, right? But this is fictional. It hasn't happened, but there has been demonstrations and public sort of uprising and stuff going on in Iran at the time. So I thought it was a little relatable. And we're playing Call to Arms. We've played this before, but rarely. It is nice to be playing the mod now, though, for this game, because it is a very cool mod. It has nothing to do with the Iranian civil war in this case. It is a very interesting mod, and I am going to speak a little about it later on, but very little in this video, because I actually wanted to talk to you guys more about other things, and perhaps nothing at all, and just enjoy the battle. It's gonna be a long one, it's gonna be a brutal one, as you can tell. The uprising has begun, or actually it's been going on for some days, perhaps weeks now, and a Iranian sort of civil defense unit, or sort of like a home guard slash national guards unit, is defending a port here near the sea. So the revolutionaries have planned the attack, and they have committed to the attack on the port right now. As you can tell, the city looks, or at least this part of the city, looks fairly unharmed. Not a lot of signs of war, which is nice so far, but as this war potentially carries on for years, it'll start turning the entire country into ruin. We've got a lot of revolutionaries moving up. So what this mod is about, briefly, is it's got a million things in it. Fallout, modern combat, Vietnam, etc., etc. So this battle in its specific ways is not going to demonstrate the mod in all its greatness, but all the weapons are new, as far as I'm concerned. All the sounds and stats have been changed around too. And we're seeing some pretty brutal scenes down here by the cars, as the revolutionaries are trying to move further in, but they're being held back right now. So there's two parts here that are kind of interesting. One, the revolutionaries have to attack across the right side here, the bridge, to cross it, and to get down here to then capture the port authority back there. The left side's job is to push through as well, and also to provide a flanking fire and maneuver to the troops that ultimately have to cross the bridge. This is it's a brutal situation, because it's kind of hard to get up here, and you've got a lot of Iranian firepower focusing there, so it's going to be a tough battle. So we're going to find some cool, sweet spots where we can enjoy the action from. Hear the sounds. They're all new as well. So that's pretty cool. That is just a brutal scene with all the revolutionaries moving up. A lot of the new animations are new as well, which is super cool. That's just awesome. Oh man. And so combat is very prolonged. It's like very long range. Accuracy has been made more realistic. I feel like it just makes for cooler firefights, as we're starting to get a taste of right now. Oh, look at them gunning them down there outside. Oh, and he's gonna be dropped himself as the weapon goes flying. The bullets echo throughout the city, or the port in general, but there is combat going on elsewhere as well. If you would like to see another video on another map about the same made-up Iranian future civil war, or future Iranian civil war, then let me know. This is really cool so far. This is a vanilla map. This is not a custom map or anything. It just really works well, because the game is originally also set in a fictional Middle Eastern country. So that's all cool. Oh, that is brutal. See a mixed amount of, or a variety of weapons rather. AKs, of course, dominantly. And then we have a few M16s. I wonder who gave them that. Who gave them the M16s, I wonder? Maybe a power that is in support of the democracy they're trying to fight for here. As any good country would. But the somewhat secret joke to that was possibly America, as they have been known for funding a lot of groups in the Middle East as of recently. Especially Northern Africa as well during the Arab Spring. But that's not what this video is about. And that is in no means a political statement or anything. I myself am a neutral spectator. And simply a connoisseur of not war, because that sounds like a pretty horrible thing. But these battles. Look at them moving up now. I think Call to Arms is definitely a superior game in terms of model quality. The engine too seems to run fine. I'm getting 60 frames per second right now. And that's quite fantastic. The textures are great, models are great, flora, grass, vegetation in general. It looks so cool. Look at all the bullets sitting back here and them dropping down as they're being shot dead. We have an RP. Is that an RPK or I think that's an RPK. Or is it an RPD of some sort? I have the RPK and RPD variants. I always have a hard time telling one from another. We got a PKM over here. We got some AKs as well. I love the mixed clothing. Many are masked to avoid the Iranian, perhaps King's Guard or Royal Guard, or whatever it's called. I should know, but in this fictional scenario, I suppose it is in a bit of an alternative timeline and world. So intense accuracy isn't as important since we're in the future. But yeah, to avoid retribution and acts of revenge on family members and other civilians. Although the country, if allowing a battle of this size and measure, then I think the country itself is in a fairly dire state where personal revenge isn't really given a lot of time and resource, like during a counterinsurgency or anti-sabotage, quote, some World War II actions in Paris and stuff, where the entire city and, of course, country wasn't in a civil war to the extent. We still have a lot of men moving up here. So this is past the whole kind of like rebellious demonstration phase where the government would lock in speakers and leaders. This is all out. Everyone's in it right now. And I love the tracers. Of course not, the sounds too are amazing. Look at them crawling up. This is actually the new crawling animation. Instead of having them prone crawling, they actually kind of like crouch down a little bit further. And it just looks cool when they go from, look, when they go from crouching to prone, but then they don't really prone down fully. You can hear just the gunshots echo throughout the city. Are we making any progress on this side? I think we're still moving. The revolutionaries are still fighting here. This is one battle out of many to come and one day out of many that has passed. Little cover here, but we're starting to move across. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Okay. Hopefully camera work isn't making you nauseous or anything. We have a few positions up here that I'd like to take a look at. Buildings are also far superior in Call to Arms. Soldiers can actually move into the buildings using staircases, and they can fight indoors here in more detailed environments. That PKM is opening up from the window, and that's a cool view. There's another PKM going ham over right now. Engaging the revolutionaries across the bridge, and some are trying to make it up here. Some are trying to cross. We're being fought back, sir. Sir? Yeah, that's a somewhat of a different era and region of the world. I'm not entirely sure here. I'm not going to start going nuts. I do get very, like, immersed into my scenarios. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing wrong with that, but the way YouTube's climate is looking right now, I feel like I'll have to limit myself in my immersion level, especially when it comes to an Iranian civil war. Speaking a language I don't even speak. So yeah, it just turns... I mean, God, you'll hear me babbling all kinds of random Russian in Russian accents during, say, a World War II game or something. I've done that plenty of times. I mean, just look at some of my Men of War videos, my German commander, my Panzer commander. That's not like, hey, I'm gonna make this kind of video. That's me recording and getting immersed, and then it turning out to be that kind of video just because of the immersion. Oh, okay. Yo. Whoa. Funky. Very interesting. I was shunned and, not shunned, but I was awed by the realism of all the animations and all the AI so far. It's been looking so cool. The squad leader there, went absolutely nuts. But look at all the fire from up top on the bridge here. They're actually covered by some of the HESCO barriers and everything, so they can engage some of the National Guardsmen down below. So there's like so many different tiers of these so-called Iranians that we can deploy in the game. They're not officially Iranian, but I think they make for a good substitute, even though we don't have the official uniforms and everything, because they do look very good. Call to Arms is actually a very, very, very good looking game. It's been updated so heavily, I've completely missed out on so many things that they've added. Oh, he's actually laying down, so they can lay down fully. Grenades are being thrown. The revolutionaries are still storming. We're not really catching a break here. We're not making it down, really. We're not, like, getting past this. This is a long battle, my friends. There's hundreds of revolutionaries attacking. And there's only about a company defending here. They have a few men that are kind of like counter-attacking to keep them from flanking the position here. Because if the revolutionaries flank this bridge position, we lose the bridge, or the Iranians lose the bridge. Which means they will have, they'll be able to send troops across at much greater ease. And that is a negative thing here for the Iranians trying to hold the port. So a lot of focus is being given here to the left side, so to speak, or the right flank here of the Iranian area. Look at that. How cool is this? Screenshot. Like, the animations of them getting hit is so awesome. This is awesome. Are we moving up now? Yeah, I think we got them. This is going to look so cool when it's done. It'll look like a grand civil war. We're really starting to see some manpower appear up here. We're even starting to inch closer to the bridge. Like, we're on the bridge. We're not taking it yet. We don't have a hold of it, and I don't see us getting a hold of it this way. But if we can clear out the flanks like they're trying to do up here, then we might have an easier time. It's interesting to see that the huge amount of reinforcements here arriving, all these rebels and all these fighters, these revolutionaries, these freedom fighters attacking, aren't actually breaking through the left side, which has a limited amount of Iranian defenders. They do have some men up here. Let's take a look at these guys. And they're firing semi-automatic at this range. Even though they can fire fully auto, they're firing semi at this range. And that's obviously most likely AI coming into play, right? Cool. Oh, that G3 is awesome. We're getting closer. Oh, we're starting to storm down now. Yeah, this might be the break we're looking for. Another wave is attacking here on this side. So many revolutionaries. So, yes, I'm not an expert on Iranian regime. But in light of recent demonstrations and such, I do suppose that people are in general looking for a regime change. So it really has nothing to do with it being Iran. If there was big, yeah, I don't know, because I might have said, I don't think I said that it was a dictatorship or anything like that, because I know it's governed using very religious forms, so to speak, and ideals. It's not in comparison to North Korea, where they have a leader based on other reasons and whatnot. Yeah, we're really starting to push down here now. Are we getting across the bridge? No, we're starting to try. We're storming. Look at them. They're really trying to. They're getting close now. He's actually running around just to come up, just to run down again. To run over there. Okay, that's interesting. You had all the chance to get anywhere you wanted, but that's where you ran. That's fine. That's fine. Iranian forces holding the building up there. We're not being supported by any armor right now. We don't have any rebel armor right now. At least not here attacking the port. They're still holding us back. We had such momentum going there. We got troops attacking down on the right side now. I don't know why they haven't flanked around here previously, but it's not for me to judge. It's interesting. Well, at least at least we own the bridge now. We have a grip of it, and we have revolutionaries starting to attack from down here. So we're getting closer, but we've lost a lot of manpower trying to take the port so far. It's not looking great. I need to be honest with everyone. It is not looking great. Surely we're starting to exhaust our manpower. This battalion of fighters from whatever group they do belong to is probably starting to exhaust their manpower. And if they cannot take it now with this wave, I think it might be the wisest to retreat. Try another day. We're starting to arrive down here, though. We're really clearing up here on the left side. Good job. But there's Iranian forces all over the city here, and we still have to get in here. All the way back here. This is where essentially there can be fighting if the game or the AI and the war and the battle itself allows us to get there. We're not sure entirely what it has in plan and store for us. But all Iranian forces have been killed over here. We have actually a few people holding the building still. Do we have a guy inside? Yes, we do have a soldier inside. He's waiting for people to enter. That's cool. And we have another one there crewing the window, and he's just opening up at rebel fighters approaching. They've taken the bridge now, so reinforcements will be crossing over the bridge. Over here on this side, we're starting to fight for some of the packing areas or the industrial areas of the port here. The shipping area, the train station where all the containers are dropped off. We have some Iranian soldiers up there posted up as well. Nice. Grenades are being thrown. Some fighters are approaching from down here by the railroad. They're taking a lot of fire from Iranian positions back here. They've got an iron grip of this area. They've prepared for any kind of flanks and whatnot, but they have lost the left now. In almost all its extent. The troops can now come down here freely and start working their way up towards the governmental buildings back here. Looking very nice. I wonder what kind of governmental buildings. Maybe some sort of commerce or some port authority building, perhaps. Something like that. Iran has a lot of coastline, or not a lot of coastline. It's not like it's an island, but it's got some. So it definitely has some important ports. Ports in general, I suppose, are very important to them with trade and everything. I'm not sure how much Iran trades though with the rest of the world. It has a internationally fairly interesting status, I suppose. But maybe it's changed over time. Maybe I'm basing my knowledge too much off of. Look at all the bullets. Look at them all hitting them, and they're actually leaving marks. How cool is that? The whole freaking house wall is being lit up by AK fire, and all kinds of insurgents moving in now. Look at these guys. Insurrectionists, revolutionaries, the cool kind, not the Antifa kind that just like to smash windows and steal iPhones. G3 though, it's 7.62. It's a heavy hitting round. Except all the other guns are mostly 7.62 here as well. I'm not sure why I pointed that out. Ex-army, based on his uniform. The revolutionaries are starting to storm up now. We're going to see some close-range combat. This could be the very last wave of revolutionaries entering right now. This could be it. It will either break or fall here. These men are about to capture... Oh no, that grenade failed. Okay, they're good. Grenades are being thrown wildly here, back and forth. Starting to move up on this side. Receiving a lot of enemy fire here from the building. They're occupying it. They're trying to cover this whole street. I wonder where remaining Iranian army positions are located. We have some up here on the high ground. Actually, quite a lot. They're holding it there. Then we have another checkpoint or position rather over here. And I think that is it. I don't think there's anything else as far as I can see, unless there are some stray sort of soldiers running around trying to hide themselves from the horde of revolutionaries approaching right now. Although I think, look at that, this main street needs to be captured. This is going to be a very interesting fight, because before I go back to look at the rest, this is the last part of their assault. I wanted this scenario to be as even as possible in terms of numbers. It's been incredibly uneven. But I do believe the Iranians obviously have a lot better stats, I think, the army soldiers, than the revolutionaries, who are mostly civilians. And they're also defending, which gives them an upper hand. This guy's got an interesting position. Where was he firing from? Oh, he's down here. Getting some serious G3 fire there on the building. This is badass right here. Oh no. I paused in him dying. I was meant to catch a different glimpse. So I hear rumors of someone adding ragdolls to this game in terms of modding. So that could be one of the cooler things I've heard, actually, in terms of Men of War, Call to Arms, GEM engine related things. So that is something I'm looking forward to. So the rest of our rebel attack or army now is gathered down here. Let's open up the minimap to take a look, actually. Oh, player's diplomacy is not meant to be up. There we go. Yes, we can see the clear pocket of attack here, or the group, and then there's a small random soldier over here who seems to be taking it easy. And then there's small lines of, or small pockets of defenders marked out here, as you can tell. We have a few soldiers retreating here. Look at this guy, he's pulling back. So this is the last push here. They need to get across the street first. So far they've obviously contested or they've contested the port. Is that a correct word for it? It's being contested right now. But they haven't secured it yet. And something tells me this battle is going to have to continue another day. Perhaps even, perhaps we can get closer to some kind of palace, or have a fight out in a smaller, more rural area of Iran, with more of these militiamen and Iranian troops. I like this. This is cool. Because it feels like it's hard right now to do things on Syrian civil war, and all. Things in general are tricky on YouTube. Battle channels, war channels, all that stuff are being suppressed. My views are down. A lot of other channels that I'm looking around have dropped in views. YouTube is, because it is hard for advertisers and for it to exist in perfect. I understand YouTube partially, yes. This is not criticism. This is just the way the way the world looks today, and the way YouTube looks today. Like 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago, I dare even say 2. I could upload like. I'm worried I'm even gonna get demonetized just saying the name. But you know which one extremely evil faction and breakout group in the Middle East that was luckily recently destroyed and defeated. But I could make videos of that, like realistic battles of things that would happen in Syria at the time, and that would never be flagged or demonetized or anything. That would just be fine. So it's kind of interesting. Now, but I feel like this being a fictional thing, it's a fictional war. It doesn't exist. It hasn't happened. It's not history. I feel like that's something we can do. So if you guys want to see some sort of fictional Swedish civil war or American civil war, a second American civil war, people like civil wars because it's cool to have armies, policemen, and soldiers and civilians fighting each other, like different fractions and states and groups. It's cool because it's off the original conventional warfare where you have 2 set armies. This is a lot more random. My friends, we're going to call the battle over here. The militia are going to secure the position, or the rebels, rather, are going to secure the ground they hold, and they're going to wait here for further reinforcements. They're not going to try and push further because the Iranian defenses are too strong, and this is sort of where the battle will calm down. Let's take a look at casualties. We're going to mark Iranian army casualties in red and revolutionary casualties in yellow. Or the other way around, because revolutionary in red makes more sense. Casualty-filled day, for sure. Lots of spread out casualties here and there. It's been one hell of a fight. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope you did. I really hope you did, because I would like to make more here in Call to Arms, and I have so many cool things to show you soon. I'm going to upload a Vietnam War video soon, and a really, really cool Fallout mod video as well. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao.